Hi everyone, and welcome again to this Python course. Okay, let's continue here on exploring the strings and characters type of object here in Python. Again, remember that we are investigating all these tools, these small tools that we will use for our proper programs, for our proper Python programs in the future. Okay, so right now we are understanding these tools such as variables, such as strings, such as numbers. So all these different elements that we can use to do better coding and to really do something with them. That's the goal of this course. So we want first to learn the tools that we have on our hands to do stuff in Python, and then what we want is to build functions around those tools, write proper programs. That's how we go through the flow of this course, and it's good that you have this big picture in your mind, that everything that we are studying right now are just the tools and the main tools that we will use to develop more advanced things. This is a Python for Beginners course. We need to start with these elements from scratch so that when we are doing more advanced functions, things don't just fall on our lap like without context, and then I just give you the instruction and you copy it. Doesn't make sense. It makes sense for you to really understand these types of objects deeply, understand how you can manipulate them so that you can better use them and make better choices when you are programming your own functions. Just to give you here a big picture of what we are doing and why we are studying these objects first. Okay, let's continue, and we are going with combining strings right now. So we've been investigating a lot about strings in this course, right? Or at least in this section. Now, how can we combine different strings? It's pretty common that we want to combine multiple strings all together. For instance, let's imagine that I have str1, which is a string 1 with the word good, and str2 with the word, or at least morning, with an exclamation mark. Let me run both of these variables. How can I combine these variables into a single one? There's nothing more simple than adding them. So this is really cool in Python because adding two strings will basically concatenate them. It's something that doesn't happen in other programming languages, such as R, for example, and that will yield an error on that language. I think here is pretty neat that we can do this. For instance, if I do print str1 plus str2, although intuitively we can't really add characters one to each other, here when we add elements or do two text elements, we combine those multiple strings into a single one. As you can see, this is now a single string that has good morning. Of course, you are not tied to combine only two elements. You can combine all the elements that you want. For instance, if I go here, pick this up, I'm going to copy this, put it here. I can add another plus sign, and in between, I can add a space in it so that I have good space morning. Of course, I may not want the good morning altogether. And if I run this, then I have good space morning. Just to be clear, what we are doing here, we are mixing two things. We are mixing variables, because str1 indeed is a variable and str2 is also a variable, but here we are directly inputting the string into the concatenation. Of course, this is exactly the same as doing this, as we've learned. Good, and then morning. Never forget that each variable with the name basically replaces or will be replaced by its value, by the value that we are storing in this name that basically inherits all the properties that we know from our objects. It inherits everything regarding strings. So if I run good space morning, I'll have good morning with a space in between. Of course, again, this is how we combine multiple strings into a single one. This was a really quick lecture, but it's really nice that you get this trick. Next, we are going to go into our first example, a small glimpse into iteration and how we can iterate throughout our string or character. Again, when I use string character, I'm intertwining between the two terms because it's super normal that you'll hear the two terms being intertwined. Let's see how we can do string iteration and have our first small glimpse on this concept, which is iterating through an object. I'll see you there.